Cuidado, no, espérate.
Yeah, that really did happen to us, and that is one of the challenges that you're gonna face on the decal business. So if you're trying to adventure into this type of business, you better watch this video because you're gonna face some challenges just like any profession that you choose. So we're going to show you some of the struggles that we faced when we make decals during the cold weather. And yes, we know it's a bad idea to do installation outdoor, especially when it's really cold. However, we got really tempted and we couldn't let this opportunity go. We had to work on this really big project. It was good money, so it was really worth it. Plus, our garage is not that big, so we couldn't fit this car inside our garage. So that's why we decided to do the installation outdoor, and it took 2 days. But hey, lucky for us, it wasn't our first rodeo because we have tripped with the same rock before. We have worked with this type of projects in the past, and one of the worst things about winter is that it gets muddy and dusty. So you have to clean the surface and sometimes use the heat gun to unfreeze the doors because it gets really dirty. And as you are watching here on this project, that's exactly what we did. And another thing that we noticed from vinyl is that it's really difficult to come off from the backing paper, even if you use a high tack transfer. So no matter what transfer you use, you're gonna find yourself in a difficult situation like you are watching here. And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is when you're trying to remove the transfer. It feels like it takes forever, plus you gotta be extra careful. Plus your hands are really freezing. So in this episode, we're gonna show you exactly what happened. So make sure you stick around with us. And if you like this video, we appreciate if you give us a like and subscribe. So let's begin. And for this project, we're gonna use the Graphic CE6060 and Oracle 651 vinyl. And the type of transfer tape we're gonna use is the one that's made of paper because we thought it was gonna be easy for us. Well, we're about to find out. And we're gonna use the Comfort series. But there's a downside when using paper transfer, and that's one. Well, maybe I'm eating too much spinach. And this is how we normally apply our transfer because there's 3 of us dudes. But if you're only one dude, you can use the application rollers that you are watching here. So this will help you apply your own transfer. All the links from all the materials will be below on the description or on the first comment on this video. We appreciate your support. So the customer brought us his van and it was in the afternoon. So it was starting to get colder and the sun was getting down. So it was 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It wasn't so bad yet, but it was about to get a little bit worse. One of the things that we do with big decals is we like to divide them into sections because it makes the application better. But we were having a hard time here because the weather was starting to affect the vinyl. But after investing a few minutes and losing a few brain cells, we finally managed to pull the decal from the paper. And this is how we squeeze it to avoid leaving too many bubbles. And here we were using a tribal technique, but yet effective. And we were using the widder to separate the decal from the backing paper. But hey, at least the worst part is over. Now it's time to apply the decal in the surface and now remove the transfer.
Cuidado, no, espérate.
Yeah, piece of cake. But for the next decal, we decided to go inside and lift the transfer from the backing paper. It was much easier, so we should have done that from the beginning. But this time it was gonna be better for us. Unfortunately, it was starting to get darker and colder. But you can definitely notice the difference here. We don't have as much a hard time as we did with the first decal. So if that ever happens to you, we recommend that you always separate your decal from the paper before you go do the installation, especially if it's really cold outside. Another tip is that you use the proper transfer depending on the situation. So if you are working on colder weather like we are here, we recommend that you use either a low tack or medium tack. So if you follow those 2 steps, I think you're gonna be good. Now let's remove the transfer. But however, always be extra careful. So no matter if it's too cold or too hot, always be very careful when removing the transfer because sometimes it might be too humid and the decal might come off. Fortunately, we managed to do half of the project that same afternoon, but it was starting to get darker and colder, so we postponed the rest for the next morning. Hopefully, the weather will be much better. So it is day number 2 and the weather has improved much better. It's still cool, but not as cold as it was last night. Last night, man, it was torture. And this is what we have left. All right, like I said, it's a new day. It feels much better. And you can tell by Nacho's ears, they're not red because it's not that cold. And he's cleaning the surface, of course, you know, with Rapid Tag. And yeah, we still got quite a few decals left, but we'll get it done in a few, maybe in an hour or an hour and a half. Who knows? All right, I gotta admit, it's colder than I thought, but I mean, it's still doable. I think yesterday was worse. All right, so we pretty much finished with this side. There it is. And we gotta finish the other side. But we notice that the weather's still kind of harsh in the way that when removing the transfer, we notice some of the letters wants to come off. So that's why Nacho's doing it carefully. And this is how the project turned out at the end. Yes, we had some struggles and challenges, but it was worth it because the money was really good. So thank you guys. Hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And also don't forget that we have memberships to use our decal calculator. So if you are into the decal business, you can use the decal calculator by getting the gold membership. You can get it by clicking on the join button below on this video, or you can go to our website at www.rdidecals.com. Make sure you choose the proper membership depending on your needs. Thank you guys so much. We will see you on the next episode.